double-digit declines across the board in football and the NFL. Monday Night Football ratings are down 21%. A lot of it put on the election. What do you make of this ratings decline this year specifically?
Well, I think that's the easy culprit to point to when you talk about the election year, when NFL products are up against debates and nationally televised games are not necessarily getting the audiences that you would expect them to. But I think this is showing that the fans are consuming the product in a different way. You know, people are going to different mediums. They're watching games on streaming on Twitter and social media. They're paying attention to fantasy football and statistics and not necessarily having their eyes on the games. It's not must-see TV as it was once upon a time. You also look at the red zone package and the different kind of packages that cable providers offer in terms of watching multiple games through one channel. So I think it's a situation where the fans are looking at the product in a different way. They're consuming it. They're still paying attention to football. They're just going through different avenues to get it.
Yeah. How about protecting the product? This is interesting. Came to light a lot this weekend. The Eagles and Browns were the latest teams to poke fun at the new NFL social media policy. The league mandating that teams can no longer put up highlights on their social media feeds. We're looking at the Browns creating their touchdown from yesterday's
Electric
game
football
right there. And when you think about it, Chris, this is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a league-wide product. The owners, they're part of this product. You think they want to share the highlights with their fans on social media, where, as we said, a lot of the fans who aren't watching on television, they're scrolling through Twitter. They want to see the highlights from the game. Is this just too much protection of the product here?
Well, I think this is the NFL, losing sight of things a little bit because it's ultimately consumed by your fan base. That's your entertainment product, and so we want them to be able to access that in a lot of different ways. But from the league's perspective, they want them to go to these different avenues because it affects their numbers, which affects the advertising, which affects the dollars that comes into the league. So I think they're trying to control it from a standpoint of being able to generate revenue. But you also got to understand it's fan-oriented. It's driven by the audience. And so when you don't have the convenience for your audience, I think that takes away a little bit from it kind of turns fans off in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where it's like, I understand where the NFL is coming from, but ultimately it's about your fan base. It's about the people that are consuming your product. You want to make that as convenient for them as possible.
Have a glass of scotch and chill out a little bit, watch the film. And, I'm my biggest critic.